Wotie the Torchlight Jumedie Ewo Nits 100.9. 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 Torchlight Jumedie Ewo Nits The Torchlight Jumedie Ewo Mix 100.9. What's yet the Torchlight Jumedie Ewo Mix 100.9.
Jamwakwaba at the Bandit 100.9 Jumedi your friend the Torchlight and Numray. Now what check in the date now? And now 17th December. 17th December on the year 2024. When him say aka a year how many days? 8 days. Na just say you could do brunya. I didn't 8 days and for 7 days. Because your best be as 24th. 87 days na ye kodi bronya let us say bibia e kodie kama enti yanche na yakoi ene na watche me sha se no madinkra for the year ene na watche no enya dia because then na watche 24th de enya fe ne ba be politics bia ba be etratra ha bia wo mreko a 24 fa de echi ane ye kwo ya je nkwa amaye afi na e be de bi ejena na woto ye ma the last Torchlight ayebeye no eye yawada eno no mini serial callers MPP ni NDC serial callers nyame ya do mebe fia eye yawada edi enim ye won beba na mama ma ba be tro mbobre kakra na me no mawie for Torchlight for the Torchlight show no nature say yenemo edinkra eye nyame adoma yawada because nyame adoma Tuesday no eye 24th Tuesday na ye break it for said the monim da ye no ye political shows eba ne say ye mamonege iti DJs no wo maboa mo ho yie pa ye behu nyoma ti wo fie na do birthday kra na dia 2 nit FM wo ko eye wedding bia na dia 2 nit FM te kakra be du botom na pa ponchi bikum na wona mfo atwa ahia na mojimani a eno ane se wo de tune radio no fa 2 nit FM because afiwe ne said the DJs no mo ye ne da na afiwe do ma san hye kena wo ma hye kena pa jese wo be bom nyom kama uninterrupted music bibi kra from adverts kakra akra bia ne ma ne ma eye bronya ne ye di ne ye popem say nyame ya adoma next year no eye the first week of January no ye be resume ya just say yaba na yasamba betoa ye dwuma so itina we yen kaibo a bedema eye Torchlight etiefo say ene ebenai nyame ya adoma ye wo yawada pe ene ye de be Torchlight not the morning show the Torchlight yawada ene ye de be ye enti nyame ya adoma na yawada no many serial callers ni wi a let us say Torchlight no ye de aba na wie ye and in fact me ba be discuss say one of the critical issues as far as the 2024 elections are concerned. Yato abawie ye ne sembebre na ekoso. Na ena ye focus ewo eye bambofo a wo mo hwe ese ya bato no bibia betimi akoyie ye focus ewo ho na de wo mo ne se yeto abawie ye no na yenim se eye IGP ena oye IGP ena oye the chairman edema election task force security task force ye power here yenim se IG so on the deputy IG yenim se etese wo mo ye adwuma ebom na de akwakoba ne ye wie elections ne yete se obi branche bi e friend Mongote Owula Mongote watchro eye article bi di ababonten na article no chro ye no o se deputy IG eye COP tete yohuno wabomoden eye nadwen se oni police mrantie edu nanka womo berege elections article ba betodwa eti yemu bi yade ani ade akira yemu se enipa ne benso kra de counter argument counter publications e de ababonten womo kra so kire se asama eye Owula Mongote ka no enyina so bi anim reason anyina so onim na ne sen ebesi den na deputy IG any police fuo du even Ghana say about 276 constituencies say ye ka regions kra na region is 16 eno kra na Ghana ye traditional regions but ye ka police administration regions ye 25 police administration regions ye 25 eburu 16 no 18 year bisa se wunhiampo a then I think you're supposed to have by 25 policemen na wobia wa region ba ko bia ma no ye adwuma free hoba na wo matimi dia rege eye election no enti ene ayade ye ne lawyer fo edema 10 police officers some police officers already one the IGP akokot the enti on the IGP akokot Dr. Dampare ni nyina ne se one susu say IGP effect illegal transfers on them kwanya IGP efa so transfer woman no one susu say enam emra kwan so said the police administration eye no ama and it is 10 police officers Owula Mongote bomudin no womo de IG akokot safo ya so na Mongote article and the publication no odi abam say IGP eyusu womo eno makwa akwata baabi eno mo plan so mo rege elections okay ena IG ye ho den se Mongote over the factor say deputy IG betima kwahye baabi say or plan rege elections IG na oye chairman wante obi ehun eno mo tena wa na jasa mo pese rege na kenya successful edie na deputy IG ni pese oye enti na ma eye Owula Mongote betro say deputy IG no epese orege elections na oni Owura Henry Courtey ena ka bom ena no mpese wo mo rege eye elections no enti ye ba be di san komo no na be wo aloyafo edema eye a police fo duya the 10 police officers wo mudin epie mu publication no mo enti ye ba be di ho komo na yebisa all the necessary critical questions because enya asem say yema ne da ho na yetimi koye nim na yehu enoma poten ya esiye enwo benya say yebe contact ni pa bia be mo we are going to do that na because ye papa Henry Corti the din abemubi eti eno so ye behwe na che se yetimi e de ho komo na ye hu eno amapoten a ewom koso mo bo ya bo one bawa Abdul Jalil yes or ye MPP vigilante ye part of the team we ni nyina no ye publication na eye mongote eye eti we are going to discuss this issue comprehensively ewo eye na dwumre Torchlight so nti wo hwira wa hwira de obetima ko Facebook Neat 100.9 FM Neat 100.9 FM okọ hwa mepacho obehu yen okọ YouTube channel na ho no ye despite media and so okọ hwa mepacho obehu yen ewo ho Sarah nso ena wa wuti ene 100.9 midin de McJerry OSEI AGYEMAN na eye Okogroko Francis alongside IK Champon wamene memranti ombo chidom ewo ha sei ayedu jumedi yede brel as usual my bosses Kwesi Aboagye na supervisor Dr. Faradixena and the executive producer fully supported by my general manager Kennedy Asante Osei Womo and the she eboa ehye bibia edemame ewo Neat 100.9 etimene ukasa yewo eye lawyer Kadri Abdul Rauf oye oka a lawyer fo a eye post fu edu a wo de IGP akokort no wo mo hwe edi animode nsem no akokort Zolo Kadri eva de twi ne monte enti ye be blend no brofo ne ye chechem ne ye de ko ye de be frafra Lakari, good evening and welcome to Torchlight on Neat 100.9.
Good evening, Mark Jerry. It's my greatest pleasure to be here.
Very great pleasure to meet you as well. Hope everything is fine.
Yes, everything is fine. We thank God. And I hope you're also doing well.
Yeah, we are doing well by His grace.
Keep the good work.
Thank you very much.
I've actually always been following you.
Okay.
And I personally feel very encouraged by your work.
Thank you.
May God continue to bless you.
Amen. Amen. Thanks so much. And what's your name? Omar Farouk Abubakar. Onoso ka a lawyer for a post fu edu. One more the IGP akokort no oka ho bi. Eti Omar Farouk Abubakar. Omar, me what do you say?
Nyame adom ho ye.
We are going here.
Nyame adom na wo so e.
Nyankopon adom.
That's for the opportunity to be here.
Monso ye da say your tun safre mo no. Monse monso maba be kan ho e wo dwumadi so. Mameka will say, oh, message be out of Facebook, I'll read them. And then me read the Facebook messages and as usual said I am no. Me call na maka read it. Na me the amount. So, Mamesha's here from Eye Kadri. La. Now, the post-election matters is something that we should have a critical look at them. There was this publication, which publications have mentioned your clients that they've connived with the Deputy IG alongside the Interior Minister, Honorable Henry Corti, to rig 2024 elections. What are the facts on the ground?
Well, thank you so very much. Let me first of all say a very good evening to the cherished listeners and to take this opportunity to refute, to repudiate, to completely deny the allegation. Mark Jerry, with all sincerity, there is no scintilla of truth in it. It's a falsity. It lies flat on the ground and certainly cannot be true. And these are the facts. The office of the Inspector General of Police is actually a creature of statute. Regulation 4 of the Police Service Regulation, CI 76, is what actually creates the office of the Inspector General of Police. And then, because the office of the Inspector General of Police is a creature of law, everything that is done or purported to be done in the name of that office has to be regulated by law. So, I think about a few months ago, my clients just woke up one morning and were told that a signal had been sent to them and that they should come to the police intelligence, the PID
Police Intelligence
department to get the signal. So they got there only to be told that they were transferred out of Accra. Now, the reason why we are caught is very simple. Under our constitution, for a person to be punished, that person has to be told in a very clear language the crime or the wrong that person has committed, the basis of which he or she is going to be punished. In this particular instance, they just transferred them without telling them the cause of the matter or the reason why they were being transferred. And then we are in court contending the transfer and then seeing it as a whimsical or a capricious show of power, in the sense that because the office of the IGP is a creature of law, for any person to be moved or to be transferred, movement of staff and also transfer of servicemen and then what have you, is being catered for under Regulation 38 of the Police Service Regulation. And Regulation 38 is what actually also explains the composition of the, in fact, Regulation 38 calls for the establishment of a National Transfer Board.
National Transfer Board.
And when you look at the composition of the
Ghana Police Service?
Ghana Police Service.
Okay.
And when you look at the composition of the National Transfer Board, the Inspector General of Police is not a member of the National Transfer Board.
Per the law.
Per their own service
regulation.
Now, to the extent that the Inspector General of Police has taken the law onto himself, sidestepping their own regulation and transferring people as and when he deems fit, we find that to be capricious, illegal, and a wanton, display of force or power. So it is this very basis that we are in court to challenge the legality of it. It comes to us as a very great surprise to learn that a gentleman by name Ola Iti Mangote is actually alleging and pointing accusing fingers at our clients that they were planning, with the aid of the Deputy Inspector General of Police and then the National Security Minister, that they were planning to rig the 2024 election in favor of MPP. I find that publication as libelous. I find that publication as very offensive, and that we will stop at nothing to make sure that we actually exact, justice for our clients.
So who are these police officers we are talking about? We have Inspector Alexander Odoi, Sergeant Prince Owusu Fayose, Sergeant Seidu Esifi, Sergeant Alex Abba, Corporal John Yao Agyemankpo, Corporal Michael Kwesi Avuyi, is it Avuyi? Corporal Hudu Mohammed Wumbe, Corporal Kabiru Mohammed, Corporal Hannah Entry Buesiakon. So these are the men that we are talking about, right? Yes. And they are the same people that the Wula Mangote, is it Mongote, right? Mongote, is alleging that they were part of a ploy to rig the elections. Now you are in court because of what you claim as an illegal transfer. But you use the word punishment. How could transfer become a punishment on a police officer?
Well, you know that when you are being transferred, okay, so for example, when it comes to the issue of transfer, once the transfer board is legally constituted, they are deemed to be acting right. And that transfer cannot actually be seen as a direct means of what? Punishment. Unless, of course, we have cause to believe that this is a calculated attempt to punish somebody. So what am I saying? I'm saying that once a transfer board is duly and validly constituted, they are seized with the jurisdiction to perform their function. And once an officer is being transferred, unless, of course, that officer has good cause to demonstrate that there is a particular agenda in order to, punish him or to do something against his own interests and what have you. If not, the National Transfer Board, duly constituted, is deemed to be acting right. So I do not necessarily think that to transfer somebody is a direct punishment. Unless, of course, you have cause to state that this this transfer is a punishment.
Okay. So in this sense, Mamiko Ayo Omar Farouk Abubakar on the Otime Ketchi, no. Omar. Sir Ebanesa. Then do you have an evidence to prove to court? As somebody the young come, we are tafre. Say a IGP in the effect say transfers nana.
Mark Medase for the opportunity once again, and I would like to say good evening to my cherished viewers, cherished listeners, and thank you very much for the opportunity again. Well, before I go to question now, or can before I go to the question now, will be some. I think as you stated clearly, matter is before the court.
Yeah.
In law, Rebecca says sub judice, and by virtue of that, we will not go into the merits of the matter.
Yeah.
But now I'm coming to the seminar. Seminar will be some. Well, first one to the facts of the matter which has been narrated to us as lawyers by our clients now, and based on the verification, yes, we are. Yes, we have been told and informed that those things or those actions, in fact, were
affected by the IGP,
coming from the office of the IGP, the chief of staff. Yes,
chief of staff na a signal IGP, and now chief of staff.
Okay, so the head of administration,
yeah,
who is an officer in the office of the
Inspector General. Okay. So
in a
that
nutshell,
person is the chief of staff.
So in a nutshell, Rebecca
right.
said that actually came from the office of the IGP, essentially.
Now, my clients, now what my kabibi achiremo, the NT ebe motivate these transfers.
Well, based on the what we have been told by our clients, and we believe same to be true. Yes, because we share the antecedents of the transfer and I course. I believe say my colleague Wakadada. If you look at the antecedents, first of all, starting from the point say they were actually drafted into an exercise based on intelligence which was gathered, and they were being led by one of the senior police officers. It was on the basis of that they said they were about to carry out that exercise. And in the process of carrying that exercise, that's when they were then called in and given this signal of transfer. And the transfer, as indicated by my colleague, quite clearly contrary to the rules and regulations of CI 76, as indicated by my colleague. It's on the basis of that, when they approach us, they advise a young court. And on the basis of that, we are now currently in court.
Okay. All right. Share a year the substantive matter on the table. Why these men, their names were mentioned in the allegations that Mongote published? And these same men, and almost when we say said they are planning with the deputy IG to rig the elections. And then, is it because one many deputy IG no, our connection be? Why that?
Okay. So when you look at the antecedent of the Deputy Inspector General of Police, the whole idea of the PID department, he was one who created it. And when he created it, it was actually Yahuno Christian Tete, the current Deputy Inspector General of Police, who created the whole PID department. And when he actually created it, he actually brought some of these officers, in fact, virtually all these officers and many other officers, you understand, to use for the operations of that particular department of the police service. And you would recall, if you have been following the tussle between the Inspector General of Police and the Deputy Inspector General of Police, to the effect that some group of men went to court to challenge the legality of the appointment of Deputy Inspector General of Police.
Yeah, Felix Mante.
Wonderful. So, and then Justice Abdullah. These are all matters that tells you that in that particular office, there is been some tussle of a sort. You understand? And then, so, the officers who are named in this particular article published by Ola Iti Mangote were all officers who were in the office of the Deputy Inspector General of Police. And these were the officers that he used to create that particular unit, the PID unit. It was these same officers. So when he now was appointed as the Deputy Inspector General of Police, well, some people actually have said that they just woke up and the Inspector General of Police decided to transfer all the officers from the office of the Deputy Inspector General of Police without any just cause. You know, when you look at
that seems to suggest that the PID department is under his office.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. He's the head. In fact, he's the brainchild, or he created it. So this ASP Bauer, whose name has copiously been mentioned, is also part of the very, officers that were brought in the formation of the PID department. So they have always been with the Deputy Inspector General of Police, and he has used them for special, operations in the interest of the country. For example, he has used them to fight crime. You recall when he actually was the commander of Accra. You saw how rigorously he fought crime. So there has always been some of these officers that he has used. Now, these problems, according to the best of our knowledge, started immediately he was appointed as the Deputy Inspector General of Police.
Hence, those transfers were effected, right?
And those transfers, the reason why we believe are actually a form of punishment is that it just affected only officers from that particular office, that particular department. Virtually, all of them were moved out. So, McGarry,
wouldn't it be a misconception as you describe these transfers as a punishment?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That so, for example, as for the power to transfer, once the transfer board is validly constituted, they can exercise their power.
And for emphasis' sake, you said, according to the regulations, the IGP
is not a member of the National Transfer Board of the Ghana Police
according
Service.
To the regulation that you quoted.
Yes, Regulation 38.
38.
When you look at the composition of the National Transfer Board, the Inspector General of Police is not. If you want, I can send you the regulation. I have the regulation.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not a member of the National Transfer Board. So, like I said, the point that I want to make very clearly is that once a National Transfer Board is validly constituted, whatever work that they do, they are deemed to be acting right. Unless, of course, you have cause or point to prove that they are not acting right. So, to the extent that officers of a particular department, just a particular job, all of them being moved out, it cannot be a coincidence. It cannot be an accident. It must be a deliberate act. But that is not even the beef. The beef is that we are changing whether or not the Inspector General of Police has the power to transfer. That's just what we are.
Okay, that's
and we believe, per our understanding of the law, we believe that he has no business whatsoever when it comes to the issue of transfer, and that those transfers that were actually effected on 4th of October 2024 are all illegal and unconstitutional.
They were all effected on the same day.
Yes.
4th October 2024. Okay. Abusanfe na wadwane wa ha ye ne eya lawyer for kukuda mienu edi nkomo. A lawyer for the man police for do a one more day IGP called because one mo hunu say eya transfers bi a akoso no embra kwan so no one mo hunu say transfers no amfa embra kwan so police officer ebetuma transfer mana yeye na mom one mo susu say embra ebo transfers won ban no one man fa sa embra kwan no so na no ena ye to abaye mu nsem aba beto dwa say sa embra ntie one mo deputy IG akwa hye baabi a one mo plan say one mo bejia abanimu edi ama eye amanyoku bi. Okay, eno na ye di ho komo aye na o ma lawyer fo nso edi ho komo. Eti Kado Momranti and clients and were they involved in a particular operations activated by the deputy IG, COP Christian Tete Yonguno?
As the Deputy Inspector General of Police, he is in charge of operations. So it is well within his purview or his remit to assemble men for operations in line with the functions of his office. So these particular officers were actually being prepared for a particular tax, the details of which I cannot go into because I do not have the function. But I just know that they were being prepared for a tax, which was consistent with the functions of his office.
Okay.
So when you actually read what Oula Iti Mangote has put out there, now it is this tax, legal, legitimate tax.
In fact, let me read portions of it.
Okay. Read it.
This is the publications by Ola Mangote, Iti Mangote. And the heading say Deputy IGP Christian Tete Yuhuno, conspiracy with the national security and Henry Cote to rig the 2024 general elections filed by IGP Dampare.
Okay, but can I make an interjection before you?
Okay.
So you see, when you even look at the very nature of what you have just read, I find this particular article of Ola Iti Mangote to be most laughable. And for a better want of word, I would say that it is actually a calculated, attempt to do mischief. Why? Mark Jerry, you agree with me that the chief law officer of Ghana is who? The Inspector General of Police, isn't it? So if the Inspector General of Police should actually, have facts and details of a certain group of people preparing to commit crime, what is he supposed to do? As I thought that as a chief law officer, the first thing he would do is to cause all of them to be arrested. Am I correct, Mark Jerry? Am I correct?
Yes.
He has to cause all of them to be arrested. Because under our laws, when you are preparing to commit a crime, it's a crime on its own. Preparing to commit a crime.
Yeah.
So now
when you declare your intentions.
Once the intention is there, whether you have done it or not, it is of no moment.
Yeah.
So just mere preparing to commit a crime, you are qualified to be punished under our laws. So now the chief law officer of Ghana interdicts an information to the effect that some group of people within the service are preparing to commit a crime, and his response was just to get them transferred. I don't think that this could be serious. Particularly, you have to bear in mind when you were introduced, you made a very important statement that he is actually the head of election security.
Yeah, security.
So you get an information that look, this group of people, ABCD, they are planning to rig the elections. And what you could just do is just to pick only 10 officers for that matter. Look at Ghana, as you rightly indicated, we have 276 constituencies. Only 10 officers planning to rig election for 276. Does it make sense? It is most laughable, I believe. So clearly, when you look at the article, the tone of it, and even the gesture of the article, you realize that it is a calculated attempt on the part of Ola Itu Mangote to actually maybe satisfy his paymasters. I believe that particular article is a sponsored write-up. Because, it is completely at variance with truth. It doesn't actually pay attention.
So there is a mischief that is curing.
That is what I completely believe. Because he has not even been diligent. He has not even paid attention to accuracy and truth. What he has churned out there is nothing but a downright falsity.
Have you spoken to the clients? Abubakar, money more clients in Akasa. Ebisa say, assignment be for security reasons. And you know, they are consumable. They are meant for public consumption. Basically, when I'm dealing with security matters, and yet Bibiana, I'm a person to about, and yes, yet radio so anything. More finding out from a client, and they say, Jumedia be a being pomukodi, you know, now you Jumedia involve reggae matters.
Mark, may I say for the opportunity again. Yes, in respect of that, you know Markasa, and then they have told us categorically, say the matter or the very tax that they were given did not have anything to do with Reagan or whatsoever. Even it had no relationship or correlation, if you like, with matters of elections.
And for that matter, no, let's say a cadre, a car, you know. Obina said that no pese oguomu hufi. Obina said that to achieve what? I don't get it.
Absolutely. That is the reason why I think that it's very necessary for me to state that your clients are very much offended by this obnoxious article that has been put in the public. And on the basis of instructions from our clients, we'll be taking the author of the article on in due course.
It's a mobile take illegal action. Like what do you
mean?
Most
definitely. In fact, we had instructions.
Because it's a sana say a good who feed the air, and just say you have to take a legal action.
Absolutely. In fact, let's say you call court, and after court, we had instructions with our clients, and our clients very much who vented their spleen in respect of the obnoxious article, and we have had instructions from our clients in respect of taking legal action against the author.
Because their families are worried.
Based upon
when
this.
Their names were mentioned that this was what they were planning to do.
Get closer to them, yeah.
When their names were mentioned that this was what they were planning to do, it actually got them most scandalized. They were scandalized. They said, where is this coming from? So clearly, that is why we are clearly of the opinion that this particular write-up by OSEI Agyeman is nothing but a mischief. He's actually on the path of a mischief. He's actually been paid to do mischief, and we are going to stop at nothing until we exact justice for our clients. Nothing more, nothing less.
My man from counsel, the write-up very much so is based on innuendos, based on allegations, and we all know that Ghana is not a banana republic. Ghana is a constitutional democracy, and under a constitutional democracy, I mean, everything that a person alleges, the person is supposed to do what? Provide proof, not just any proof, but irrefragable proof. And so it's on the basis that we believe that the author of the obnoxious article should be given his day in court. And so he will have his day in court, very much so, in due course.
So that he can also prove.
He can also prove, just as he has freely written, he'll be given the opportunity in the court of law, not in the court of public opinion, to provide irrefragable evidence to back those obnoxious allegations, because it goes to the very reputation of our clients. And in governance and in law, we say that our reputation is everything about a human being. Once your reputation is soiled, you have to take every step to restore your reputation. And that exactly is what we are going to do by or in accordance with the laws of the Republic of Ghana.
What is the relationship between your clients and the Deputy IGP, COP Christian Tete Yuhono?
Okay, like I already indicated, Mark Jerry, the Deputy Inspector General of Police, he is in charge of operation. And as I have said already, he is actually the brainchild behind the whole PID department. So you understand? And these officers all work in the PID department. All of them. All the names mentioned, they all work in the PID department. So that's the relationship. So it's a relationship between a servant and the master. You understand? Because he is in charge of operation, and these are the very boys that he used to actually carry on operations in the best interest of the public.
Is that the case?
Yes.
Maminko aye Facebook as one more and so extra one more dream ha. But Facebook na ye neat 100.9 FM. Neat 100.9 FM. So we are discussing a publication made by Ola Mongote indicating say a deputy IG. Any 10 police officers be a plan say one be rege elections no. Elections you are ye can no. Say the kwa dream more. In fact, I'm trying to say make friend on the line. It's a member producers and then akasa say every man here then to line so. Na yebisa say the chairman of the National Election Security Task Force no IGP. IGP so there or your police sign here bibia it is a fun and sem. One of the biggest questions bibisa. And they say woman who say a dear IGP a year the far say on one deputy a bedi police of him na woman akwa yes or muko via bem na IGP to wash no na oyane sa na so no kra de gu na dwuma de na dwuma no kra ba for mo eti IGP e de eti yenya na ne ye bisa no e bia no wa further investigations. And now IGP are taking action be a year name. Now say police update. Says Ageba. ABR, my deputy and some 10 police officers are planning to rig 2024 elections for a particular political party. Na kaba better no yanti bibisa in the ana mama conform when I'm lawyers na mo no makasa. What the maswa to form at TBB the free IGP. On the matter.
Oh, like I indicated, no, there's nothing like that. What, to the best of our knowledge, what we just know is that the rate that we issued against the Inspector General of Police in respect of the unconstitutional and illegal transfers, a copy of the rate was given to OSEI Agyeman, and then on the basis of the rate, he was able to write that his obnoxious article. And as I have said, it is important for the general public to understand that under the laws of Ghana, any attempt being made, any preparation being made at committing a crime amounts or tantamount to committing a crime. So if the chief law officer of the land, in the person of the Inspector General of Police, should have an information to the effect that a certain group of people are preparing to commit a crime that actually has a direct linkage with the fundamental rights of the people of Ghana, what is he supposed to do? With immediate effect, I would have thought, if their claim is anything to go by, he would have caused them to be intercepted, and also he will put them through the recourse of the law. But it is not enough for the Inspector General of Police to say that we have, or to actually call somebody to say that they have a reliable information that this was what A and B was planning, and for that, we'll transfer this person to that place, we'll transfer that person to that place. In any case, this name that has been mentioned in this article, ASP Bauer, as being the organizer, because when you look at the article, he alleges or claims that ASB Bauer was the one who actually organized these officers. The question is, if that narrative was anything to go by, why didn't the Inspector General of Police interdict ASP Bauer or even transfer ASP Bauer? ASP Bauer is there, he has not been interdicted and he has not been transferred, and he was supposed to be the organizer of this man. So clearly you see that
ASP Bauer is still there.
He is there, he has not been transferred and he has not been interdicted.
So if he is the lead, let's say, organizer.
Yes. And the story is anything to go by. I would have minimally expected that he would have actually been interdicted, or he would have also been transferred, for better want of word. But no such thing has happened to him. So clearly, this points to the fact that there is a mischief, a planned mischief. You understand? To misinform the general public and also to denigrate the hard-won reputation of our clients, including the Deputy Inspector General of Police, who actually is loved by a majority of people outside the police service. For you to allege an activity of crime on him, that amounts to undermining and then traducing his hard-won reputation. And I believe with that, his lawyers may also go to court on that. But for now, we are acting for those officers, and we are actually in court to make sure that we protect the integrity and the reputation and the rights of our clients.
Okay. Abubakar, and so far said okay, BBC already one more court say one more say transfers be akos. And namra kwan so. And na way asanya babe boom. What my clients need to say.
The truth of the matter is, as human beings or as mortals, no, they have been affected to an extent. In fact, based on the conversation I know in the morning, no. In fact, as lawyer Kadri indicated, one of them even indicated how it's affecting not just them, but beyond them, affecting their wives and then their case too. So the truth of the matter is to say they have been affected, but they know that, you know, luckily for them, we are living in a constitutional democracy, and by virtue of that, you know, if they take advantage of the rules and the regulations of Ghana, no, they'll be able to restore their image, and then they'll be able to protect their interests. And that is the reason why they came to us, and we are legitimately before the law courts and pursuing their interests. And we are very confident that at the end of the day, you know, their interests will be what will see the light of day. The courts of Ghana, of Ghana will rise up and protect the interests of the underprivileged.
Na yensha bibi nso wa ha. Ade we kokobe nyina no. Pay information, because I'm getting more information. As information from some of the top police officers. Somebody have sent me this. I'll say good morning. For the purposes of the discussions, mean to me money the unanimous text. I'll say what is happening in Ghana Police Service under this IGP is an ISO, and we are all waiting for the day it will be asked under this new government, and so many things will come out. That letter allegedly written by that man against the 10 police officers are all calculated attempts by the IGP, and everybody is aware in the service. Where every a top Some all this one, my lawyers for these police officers, them say, "Mobe a bit of investigation about the matter because some got them facts."
Sure.
Muhu, matter to be say.
Oh,
Lord.
well, you know that like Lawyer Farouk earlier mentioned, because the matter is lying before a court, we are actually restrained to go into the nitty-gritty of it.
Yeah.
So what we are just discussing is just the facts of it, not the law, necessarily the law. And we are also touching on the aspects of law which protect their integrity and which protect their good image. And that I do not think that we are debarred from making any such statement. But to go into the core of the matter, that I would actually amount to us going outside, our way to do so. But generally, what we just know is that when this article was authored, I got about 10 people before I woke up that morning. More than 10 people forwarded the article to me, asking what your name has been mentioned. You understand? And then we've seen this article, what is happening. So clearly, upon going through it, knowing that I had engaged with our clients, intensively. There's something that we lawyers call client interview. When a client comes, you have to interact with him or her in order to get their mind to understand the nature of the facts that they are actually giving to you, so that you now advise them according to the laws relevant to the particular facts being given to you. So when I actually, or myself and Farouk and the other members of our team interacted with them, we realized that, well, this allegation that is being made about them is most unfortunate, and like I indicated much earlier, is actually a ploy to destroy not only the image of these victims, but also to destroy the image of the Deputy Inspector General of Police, as well as to destroy the image of the Minister for Interior. And then for the Minister of Interior and the Deputy Inspector General of Police, I believe that their lawyers will speak to this matter. But generally, that is how I see it. I see it as a calculated attempt to do incalculable damage and harm to the reputation and images of these people. And that behavior, I find it most barbaric, which should be condemned.
All right. Farouk.
Farouk. Given the very nature and the extent of the effect of the allegations that are contained in the publication, I think it's very important that the office of the IGP make a public comment, a reaction to the publication, because the fact of the matter is that, first of all, it's affecting the rights and the image of persons who are under the supervision of the IGP. Because technically, your clients, they are the children of the IGP, and so the IGP should be concerned if such allegations are made.
But there should be a statement from the IGP.
Yes, that's
because a publication
very obnoxious. Until by now, you would have
mentioning 10 personnel of your boys, including your immediate deputy. So that they want to rig elections. And there hasn't been any statement from the IGP office.
It also mentioned that the IGP foiled what? The attempt.
The attempt.
So quite clearly.
Meaning there were some actions.
So quite clearly the office.
And we haven't heard about it.
Yeah, so quite clearly the allegation is alleging that the office of the IGP is aware of this. And if the office of the IGP.
So people will be tempted to suspect that IGP is aware of the publication.
No, exactly. He mentioned that the IGP was the one who foiled it. So if the IGP foils it as a chief law officer, what is he supposed to do? He has to go to court and get those people to be punished. But when he foiled it, he gave it to Ola Iti Mangote to write an article.
Yeah, you said something that you suspect that this publication is.
It's a planned, it's a sponsored writer and a planned, a mischief.
So people will be tempted to suspect that maybe IGP is aware of the publication.
Yes. So
given what we have all been hearing, to the extent that, I personally believe that to the extent that the IGP would actually cause only officers of a particular department associated with his deputy to be transferred without an exception, and to the extent that the IGP is actually giving such vital information to somebody who is not a police officer. Obviously, Ola E.T. Mangote is not a police officer. And he is claiming that it was the IGP and he is not in the police service. How did he come by that information? That information could have been given to him only by the IGP and not the deputy IGP who is a victim. So when you look at the rationality of it, how can a victim of something, that tarnishes his image, give it to people to send it out there to tarnish it? It doesn't make it. So it could certainly be coming from one angle. And the force of rationality would point at the office of the Inspector General of Police. And if the Inspector General of Police knows that he knows nothing about it, then he should come out and speak to the matter. If not, the evil will linger and people would actually be right to hold any kind of opinion they want to hold about it.
Okay, let me go to the Facebook and read some of the messages here. Very interesting. Filippo Kwabre Kasam said, we enjoy the show live. Mark, I think you should delve inside and give us more information about what the lawyers are speaking to. Greeting to Father One Cantona, my daughter, Frimpong Manson, HR. Thank you. Francis Skoon Akpalu. Also, good evening to you, Honorable McJerry. Chaloma, Honorable Ndi Amejipa. President John Dramani Mahama will be the best president in Ghana. I think he should investigate this matter. William Farouk Kado also, I love those signals. Thank you. Extra trendy threats watching us live. Kwaku Boateng say good evening to you, McJerry. I think this whole IGP issue is just something to sabotage him. The man has and is really doing well in his tenure. Keep up the good work, bro. Your show is very educative and highly intellect. As usual, that's what we always do. But so because we be the sabotage IGP in this one. So that's IGP Babon Tebeka Sao. So ABS so Obina and Kaya be to sabotage you, and why would you have to keep quiet?
Yes, it's very necessary. So the office of the IGP will issue a public reaction to the matter. You see, it goes beyond the IGP. Matters that borders with the Ghana Police Service are matters of national security. And especially at this particular point in time where we have just had an election, and even though the outcome of the election has very much settled a lot of issues, but you agree with me, sir, just a couple of days ago, this country was very much sitting on emotional tenterhooks. And given the fact that these issues and allegations coming from the obnoxious publication that we are discussing at the moment borders on matters of national security, it is important that IGP office will issue a public reaction to the matter and then debunk some of these allegations. But if the IGP is mute on the matter or the office of the IGP is mute on the matter, then it gives credence to some of these convictions. Say it could be actually backed or supported by the office of the IGP. When a simple public reaction to the matter can settle this very issue.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Asunaba Kwajonumafo from UK. Also, McJerry, my boss, I love your program because of your objective analysis and views on issues. Watching you live from West Ham in the UK. Kwajo Bosman Adepa. Also, Senior McJerry, greetings to you and your team. Seriously, I think these men are just in to drag IGP's name into the mud. This man has really made the police service very attractive. This man has made police service very attractive. Why are you working against him? Good job, McJerry. I love your show and wish to meet you in person one day. Kwado, my namesake, so I wish to meet you one day. Charles McCarthy. Also, McJerry, can 10 officers of the Ghana Police Service be used to rig elections? And also, say police service in the crown one more regions. Ghana, your traditional regions near 16. Police service regions near 25. It is open here, crown. You need 25 persons. No beer.
No. Let's put it right. For example, which is the smallest constituency in Ghana?
Smallest, unless I become
the smallest constituency in Ghana. I believe maybe the smallest constituency.
There was a time your analysis in the more
the smallest. Okay, so just for purposes, maybe northeast region, I believe.
Yes.
For purposes of analysis, I am saying most strongly that it doesn't take only 10 officers to be able to successfully rig an election in the smallest constituency in Ghana. How much more the whole country?
Yeah.
You know, to subvert the will of the people is not an easy task.
Yes.
10 officers, junior officers.
And what are they going to do? What specifically would they do?
What would they do? Are they officers of the electoral commission?
Let me say this on record. I've tried several times to reach Owula Mangote, but rather unsuccessful. The number no, Befra or say cannot be reached. I'm trying very hard. Thank you, Menyano.
But just to make a quick reaction to the person who suggested that the whole idea of this conversation is to tarnish the hard-won reputation of the Inspector General of Police. I think that is far from that. We do not have any interest whatsoever in tarnishing the image of the Inspector General.
But the person even said that you are dragging the IGP's name into it. It is not you. It is the publication.
Yeah, the publication.
That had already dragged the name of the IGP. Yeah,
you understand? You. And we are suggesting that because we are officers of the law, we are of the view that if a statement is being made about you or against you, that you have good reason to believe that it is not true, you shouldn't sit and fold your arms. You understand? But as to whether he actually is progressive, he has done well for the Ghana police and what have you, that judgment is to be made by the people of Ghana, most importantly, the police service. And the Gombas have a proverb that if you want to know a good husband, ask the wife. And if you want to know a good wife, ask the husband.
Okay. So, how you did 100.9. Philip Asante also is watching us live. And I've gotten some of the messages here. And some more. Owula Mangote, known for his controversial reputation and history of maligning individuals of high standing, is currently facing trial for defamation against Colonel retired Gbevululati. Okay. In a bizarre twist, Mangote was recently exposed by the Herald newspaper for digitally altering photos to insert himself alongside members of the military high command, creating a false impression of close ties with the Ghana Armed Forces. So this is also a message someone have sent Charles McCarthy. So this message was sent to me by Charles McCarthy. And then I'm on Dromano. Na on be retracted. Na on patchels. Then I can a case close.
As to the strategies, like I indicated very clearly, and then lawyer Farouk here too has made it the point very clear that we will stop at nothing to make sure that whatever aspect of the rights of our clients has been undermined, we will restore it. So we'll have a lot of legal strategies that we will use. Writing a formal letter demanding for retraction is just one of it. And also going to court is another matter. So we took the instruction of our clients today that we should actually go to the court and seek vengeance for them through the court system. And that we will surely do. So I want to say that Owula E.T. Mangote should actually prepare, because what is coming, unless of course he can prove us to the contrary. If not, I believe that he would have to have, like Farouk indicated, he would have his day in court so that he will come and prove the veracity of the allegations that he has made. We know as lawyers that when you make a statement which is capable of proof, you have to prove it. So an opportunity will be created for him in court to come and prove how these 10 officers plus the Deputy Inspector General of Police and the Minister of Interior planned to rig the election for MPP. And then whatever evidence, piece of evidence that he has, he will bring it forth to establish his case. And if he's not able to establish his case, we would establish our case against him, and the court would actually make a determination.
And as we journalists too, we can make some deductions that, okay, maybe there has been a change of government. And for that matter, this is one of the ways to sabotage the deputy IGP.
Yeah. Because, for example, I am not a lawyer for the deputy IGP, and I do not work with the deputy IGP. But what I understand from having interacted with these police officers, what I understand is that the Deputy Inspector General of Police, he stands the brightest chance to become the next Inspector General of Police. So for such statements to be made against his person, clearly, you know, as people will say, somebody is trying to throw sand into somebody's garden. Because clearly, I understand that he's a very reputable man, you know, hardworking, who is generally loved by the, you know, men of the service. So for somebody to come out and associate such an evil allegation with him to the extent that he is planning to rig an election, certainly it doesn't make sense. And I find it as damaging his reputation. And I believe that his lawyers too will speak to this matter. But for our clients, we are on course, and we would make sure that we get to the root of it in order to make sure that whatever attempt that is being made in order to undermine them, we would actually restore them and let them enjoy their freedom.
Okay, so I need 100.90 for and come on, Yedini Pa and then you may and it's a many lawyer for Kukudam. Mienu and the one lawyer for him. When we are part of the legal team, and you're supposed to form Makuma Kudu, Ebiana Winyante. A yadea, and your police food to be one more day, a IGP a court. Then say, one more susu say, a year 4th October, transfers because so transfers and no, course on one more susu say, I'm fan of quine so, and as our transfers in the course so. And into one day, the one secure court, no, and they say, one more say IGP, a year police regulation now, a year transfers on by no. IGP need to miss over transfer will be. And into one more akokota, one more eka huasam nanumu, and I yet to obey ye. And a branch here be a year for the wool among gote. Say we a media person and idea making where we follow where we been him a branch here making. What's wrong at the Bible to say? A year deputy IGP Christian Tete Yuhuno. And this our police for a duya IGP a transfer woman. One more up plan say one more berege elections. It just say nya IGP in the crown, cause just say one more reggae elections in the crown. Ni pedu police for do one more deputy IGP. Na no na and na ya tun sa from as a police for a lawyer for so momra no mechrim. Because a best then a deputy IGD ebebem say one more berege elections and a DNA see ye. It's a publication way no. We want our assessment and the questions are ye bisa. Unfortunately, around my year Mongote means sentiment cano. My friend and the number is not reachable because ever since night was like you may be a bedem. Obegiano say it was another publication be to a bonteno. As Obia we and Centuronia Watchro and Wamapa would be beside Babe to a bontain. And you show me ben or yeah, a DN IGP IGP a DN fan because IGP to my young baby. And I know one say nay. Se me YouTube cracker se maza. Oya me di bekun. Hey, etu no bullet ni mo, but emran bedi. Na police fodu. Any deputy IGP. Almost one berige the whole Ghana 276 eje constituencies. Me say na me say mentia fi enim entwanso mo mame. Anything me nya na nka me bisa na no provide further information. Eno na nam so amene eya lawyer form rantie ya. Womo ya lawyer for dem say police fodu no. Many women edi ho command ya bisa said ya yakato eya mo client ya mudi animu e wo court mu gina mama o mo maka fa mo ho ne nti den e no mo ka fa to say some way e na adwubre ya di ho command me ne eya lawyer Kadri Abdul Rauf ene eya lawyer Omar Farouk Abubakar womo e na me ne womo edi nkomo e de fa eya sense me ho eti se akoba say mo ka on retract one ya but mo chew. Because I have to about 7 days, 10 days in our way. And a publication by I think I'm saying about 3 days ago. Yes. 3 days ago. And then I'm sir. Newspaper.
No, Magdalene is very simple. You know, the wheels of justice grinds very slowly, but it grinds exceedingly fine. You understand? So we are not in a rush to go after him. But as for giving him an opportunity to come and substantiate the allegation, we shall create that opportunity for him. We'll meet him in court so that he will come and prove his case. But we are very confident and satisfied that that publication has no shred of truth in it. He has actually not been mindful of accuracy and then truth. And what he wrote, according to our assessment of it, is a calculated attempt to do, mammoth mischief against, hardworking officers of the Ghana Police Service. And for that, we would stop at nothing to make sure that we restore the rights of our clients.
Okay, you better see for them now. So, issue said the TA, ye ho analysis. Wahana ye bisa says so. Ye watch your publication, ya se mekanya. Mameka publication na dia ye kan kura na bia na okra so wunti mu bi. Eti mame take me time na me kan mu kakra na tie. Ensem a eye owula mongote etro de koma eye anan the publication a odi ababeto abonten. Na ose owula mongote ride from afar to president elect into where krata odi koma John Dramani Mahama.
But have you seen the response of
my own response means so high. So the person me read it. Yeah. Say Obonidin.
And he also wrote
Bawa.
To read this one, you have to read his response.
Yeah. So when I read this, they have to read the response.
I have it. I will send it.
Okay, good. It's here for Muntie a year. Dia Ola Mongo Teatro. Now response ASP Bawa Bonidin no a woman. It's also following the appointment of Christian Teto Yohunu, Norman Biokana, were year free more. Following appointment, Christian Teto Yohunu as the deputy IGP in charge operations by a Akufo-Addo government, it is alleged that Teto Yohunu has several meetings with the national security together with Henry Cote to rig the general elections in favor of the MPP. Subsequently, Mr. Yohunu recruited some junior officers through ASP Bawa Abdul Jalil, an MPP vigilante and the leader of the Invisible Forces. I just was a minsura won. Metimaka say ASP Bawa we no. Boni dino. Ye true or no. And IGP. It's everybody about the memory reverse. No, but the memory reserve later. Because ASP Bawa ne papa or ne IGP. Current IGP. Ekono. Sabre no nye IGP. Eye di nti no mko ni fie. Wo mko ne papa no so yen pipi ni pa. What happened? Into the you become one later. I mean ready when we.
Have you seen the picture I just sent you?
Okay, yeah, I'll look at it.
Look at ASP Bawa.
Mr. Yohunu recruited some junior officers through ASP Bawa Abdul Jalil, an MPP vigilante and a leader of the Invisible Forces in the Ghana Police Services, to recruit some dedicated MPP officers to action the plans of the MPP to rig the just-ended general elections. ASP Bawa Jalil, upon the instruction of Mr. Yohunu, recruited 10 officers from the PID at the blind side of the Director General, Police Intelligence Directorate, who will serve as team for the year to be recruited over 1,000 officers and civilians to implement the strategy directed by Mr. Yohunu through ASP Bawa Jalil. Below are the names in them some Sodadawaha. These agents, police officers of Mr. Yohunu, together with Deputy Chief of Staff's driver, met with their boss ASP Jalil at their residence on 27 September 2024 to discuss how to implement and further recruit other officers to join the state-sponsored vigilante team. It's when Nana IGP here, Papa. Further to this meeting, Mr. Yohunu advised his vigilante group to create a WhatsApp for effective communication and organization of the group called Operations D-Day. Unfortunately for such state-sponsored vigilantes, it is alleged that IGP Dampare got wing of the intelligence and immediately disorganized the group by transferring the officers before the elections. Mr. Yohunu being dissatisfied with the transfer and disorganization of the state-sponsored vigilantes directed the affected junior officers not to comply with the transfers and that the transfer was dubious, aimed at frustrating the Operations D-Day. The deputy IGP assured his vigilante group that the MPP will win the elections and he, Yohunu, will be made the IGP to reverse the transfer and promote them for their service. This is a clear demonstration of an act, organization of mutiny and constructive group coup d'etat by the deputy IGP to under the security of the election and also to plunge the country into chaos. Subsequently, Mr. Yohunu alleged sponsored the affected state-sponsored vigilantes in a suit number GT 0149-2025 dated 11 November 2024 to bring action against the IGP for unfair transfer. Na no na nye nipa tani na sasa ya de we de so mo ten no mo de call ya say no na nye deputy IGP no so mfa because a police for 10 no because on no relate say on kwa na ashe o kutu pa say o mo fan court
ono ola mango
no o say Christian Teto Yohunu na share mo clients no o motivate you say say mo fan court.
In fact, it's part of the mischievous calculated attempt to associate our clients with the deputy IGP and then to further forward the claims that the deputy IGP is behind or sponsoring the matters before the court.
Okay. So the alleged state-sponsored vigilantes in the affidavit in support of the action, as the court admitted that they were recruited by Mr. Yohunu. Again, they also indicated in the affidavit that Mr. Yohunu asked them to not proceed on the transfer, and the transfer is dubious. When the name said, which reminds a lawyer for Mwahe. Is it true that they said those things? That and what can also one more indicate here. A one statement in the most statement of affidavit. Actually, say, Mr. Yohunu catch on say one transfer kwa monko.
Oh, when
they shouldn't affect the transfer.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to explain. So like I earlier indicated, he's in charge of operations. You understand?
Yeah.
And for such transfer to be effected, it has to also go to his decks. So when it got to his decks, he was not persuaded, he was not convinced that these are actually legitimate transfers. And for that matter, he ignored it. Yeah.
Okay. So, antecedent of ASP Bawa Abdul Jalil, leader of the Yohunu state-sponsored vigilante group. Bawa Abdul Jalil is a notorious figure with a complex history within the Ghana Police Service and political circles. Our analysis, based on information from various open sources, human intelligence, and doxing the reviews and tumultuous journey as follows. In 2005, at the age of 24, Abdul Jalil and one of the leaders of the MPP Invincible Forces was attacked, assault, and caused harm on assembly members of the Tamale Metropolitan Assembly, believed to sympathize of the NDC. Bawa Jalil and his 5 other accomplices who attacked the police during the attack was arraigned before court and remanded into prison custody by the Tamale Circuit Court as reported on the source number, Modern Ghana. Interestingly, in the 2006, Abdul Jalil, the leader of the Invincible Forces, was released from custody and enlisted into Ghana Police Service. ASP Bawa Jalil police carrier took a dark turn in 2008 when he was interdicted by the Ghana Police Service for allegedly conspiring with some members of the Invincible Forces to steal weapons and ammunition from the police armory by disguising his members as police officers. This incident was reported by Ghana Web. ASP Bawa Jalil, whilst on interdiction, went back fully into his roots, the MPP Invincible Forces used to cause mayhem before, during, and after 2016 general elections. Post-interdiction, in early 2017, Abdul Jalil led the MPP Invincible Forces to the Jubilee House, attacked, assaulted, and caused harm to some security details of John Mahama, including now retired DSP Nanka Bruce. A viral video showed him, ASP Jalil, involved in the brutalization of then ASP Nanka Bruce, all at the Jubilee House, and collected the official vehicles from Nanka Bruce and his team. So the fact that the MPP in power, the investigation and prosecution of the leader, Mr. Yohunu's state-sponsored vigilante group, was thwarted. Subsequently, ASP Bawa Jalil was given a special recommendation to the police college and graduated as assistant superintendent of police. Some reliable and verifiable sources include the following. And all the sources be about Gwanti, Nadia Wachuni. Now, we call her ASP Jalil. And when so, yeah, ASP Jalil on the Nadia Wachuraba. So, Mongo takes double lie revealed from fake anti-terrorism expert to full-blown liar. Owula Mongote, the self-styled anti-terrorism consultant, has turned into a national embarrassment, his credibility crumbling faster than his Photoshop skills. For 3 years, this fraud has masqueraded as an intelligence asset in Boku, operating under IGP George Dampari's direction. But recent revelation exposed him as nothing more than a charlatan desperate for relevance. Mongote's latest escapade, photoshopping himself into images with Ghana's military top brass, a desperate and laughable ploy to foreign legitimacy. Exposed by the Herald, this ridiculous stand has done more to cement his reputation as a liar than bolster his fabricated credentials. As if that wasn't enough, that he is caught for defaming Colonel retired Larry Gbevlulati, solidifying his standing as a fraudster on trial. Mongote's antics aren't just a personal failure. They expose a troubling lapse in judgment within IGP Dampari's leadership. How does someone steeped in lies manage to secure a role of such national importance? This isn't the first eyebrow raising high under Dampari. From Mongote to Adam Bona, a pattern of questionable choices threatens to undermine the integrity of Ghana's law enforcement. In his latest trick, Mongote panned a letter dripping with melodrama and baseless accusations targeting Deputy IGP Christian Tete Yohono. He claims Yohono is orchestrating Operation D-Day, an elaborate election rigging scheme involving national security and national minister Henry Korti. But there is the kick among Mongote offers no evidence, no threat, just vague allegations and buzzwords like state-sponsored vigilantes. Mongote's piece, the resistance labeling Yohono's supposed actions a constructive coup d'etat. The absurdity of this claim would be laughable if it weren't so reckless. How does Mongote imagine this grand conspiracy could unfold under the watchful eye of IGP Dampare, Yanami Bisano, a man he said is transparent and has firm control over the service? The sheer implausibility of it all would be comedic if it weren't so dangerous. Mongote doesn't stop there. He ropes in ASP Bawa Abdul Jalil, dragging up a relevant past incident to spin his web of deceit. This classic guilt by association tactic is as tired as it is desperate, proving only that Mongote is grasping at straws to make his outlandish claims stick. Let's call it what it is. Pathetic attempt to tarnish Deputy IGP Yohono's reputation. With no evidence, no credibility, and no hope of success, Mongote's smear campaign is nothing more than a circus act designed to distract and deceive. If he has proof, it's time to bring forward. If not, it's time for Mongotes to slink back into obscurity where he belongs. Deputy IGP Yohono's service to Ghana speaks for itself, and no Photoshop fraudster can change that. Ghana deserves better. And to win to another article written by one of the guys. You see?
The article of
yeah, get closer to the microphone.
Yeah, which is very short. I've just forwarded it to you.
Oh, okay. Okay, let me see. Okay. And I'm already a short one. When a Photoshop become okay, so this Photoshop, I can see George Ekufudampare.
Ola, I thought that you just read.
So, okay, photo when a picture where then, but a brown call a year Jalil Papa Fiena and in your own. Okay.
So Mark Jerry, I think that personally, as I have said before, I very much, respect the work that you people are doing. You people
So
are
this is
doing-
a statement from Aye Jalil. Okay. Okay.
So the balance, the balance views, I think that is a fundamental step towards strengthening our democracy.
Yes.
The very fact that you have had the opportunity to read the article authored by Ola E.T.
Mangote. Let me read this one.
And the Jalis one to
So this is the Jalil article. Let me read it.
ASP Bauer Jalil. Yeah.
Dan Paris sponsored write-up will not. Okay. Title said Dan Paris Fabrications, a desperate attempt to defame
He's seven. He's 7 of
a rising star deputy IGP, Mr. Christian Tete Yohonu, in the police service. Okay, into way a article by Aye Jalil.
ASP Bauer.
ASP Bawa Jalil. Yes. Dan Paris sponsored write-up will not withstand the test of time due to its inconsistencies. We leave it to the judgment of those who matter in both major political parties. The fabrications and inconsistencies in the later Dan Paris sponsored write-up, which was released solely to tarnish the reputation of Deputy IGP Mr. Christian Tete Yohonu and those around him, arise from the rising tension in Ghana Police Service, demanding the dismissal of IGP Dan Paris. IGP Dan Paris is aware that his deputy IG, Mr. Christian Tete Yohonu, will succeed him, prompting Dan Paris to employ this strategy of image defamation. Dan Paris and his paid agents should be aware that his image denting strategy will fail because the appointing authority is fully aware of the situation within the police service. On glaring inconsistency that reveals the malicious intent and falsehoods in this paid-up write-up is the baseless claim that the deputy IGP recruited officers to work with him as deputy IGP. Is he not expected to perform police duties, or was he to engage in AMA activities? Can Dr. Dan Paris recognize that his time has passed, as the majority of the police officers he poorly leads no longer tolerate his ineffective leadership and are demanding his removal? How long will IGP Dan Paris continue to defame Deputy IGP Mr. Christian Tete Yohonu solely to retain his position as IGP? When Dan Paris sought the IGP position, he portrayed all commissioners associated with the MPP bigwigs as NDC members. Today, he has become the only NDC member among the commissioners, including those he previously labeled as MPP. Is Dan Paris psychologically stable? Undoubtedly, Mr. Christian Tete Yohonu is admired by a majority of police officers and the civilian population because he is a genuine and practical police officer whose policing extends beyond social media to the corridors of the police service. Deputy IGP Mr. Christian Tete Yohonu is renowned as a crime fighter, making IGP Dan Paris anxious about the possible selection as the new IGP. Regarding the vindictive transfers and unlawful interdiction of 2 junior ranks, if the senior minister was truly planning with the deputy IGP to steal the election, as alleged, why didn't the minister reverse those transfers to protect his co-conspirators? A simple check by Obura and people who think like him would have known that it is rather interdicted officers who are resorted to the law court to vindicate their right by challenging the illegal transfer, rather than relying on their bosses, Deputy IGP and Honorable Henry Cote. Additionally, why was the Deputy IGP not given any assigned role before, during, or after the elections, considering that he was appointed as Deputy IGP in charge of operations? I have noticed that IGP Dan Paris sponsored write-ups lack evidence proving that I was involved in any crime leading to any interdiction. If these allegations were truthful, why was not dismissed? It's now evident that Ola Mongote and his sponsor IGP Dan Paris are determined to ensure that if Dan Paris is dismissed as IGP, Deputy IGP Mr. Christian Tete Yohonu will not assume the position. Mr. Yohonu's association with me is grounded purely on professionalism. If Mongote had done his homework well, he would have come to the realization that it was Mr. Yohonu who established the PID and trained some of us to be the professionals that I am today. It was out of such training that informed me to dissociate myself from Dampare when he started killing innocent people in the name of fighting armed robbers. It was based on these facts that volunteered to testify against Dampare during the leaked tape hearing before Parliament. I still have those facts fresh in my memory. I'm engaging my lawyers to initiate a legal action against Owula Mongote very soon. And the lawyers are here. It will so a response ASP Bawa Jalil or no so diaba. And therefore, and then I'm a kind. It's now weighing the matter. Saminu Nina ya publication about Bonte. Is it because change of government aba? Maybe you say a COP Christian Teto Yohuno or your potential IJP. And for that matter, as you nipa bi etro egu ne ho fi. Ana said the course no so ye nokre and the bed dented the image of the IJP. And then IJP ye fa ho. Send the pe person mo reggae election. Omo ji abamu. Na sanfo ne agya omo no mo di dokono kwa. Only say be transfer omo keke. It your police need the money and you transfer the keke na. We need some of the questions we are asking about Enwama Ekoswe. Yebekwa amane so na yete fomo so yenemo edin komo. Edi afa eyesensemi a Ekoswe. How do you weigh the two? Publication about betudwa. Ene eye dia makenkan edi afa ho. Unim say how dey tena say your objective analysis. And ye said the assembly na yebisa mo questions. Owula Mongote menyano na mpesa nka na mefre no. Menyano. Ente okay. Menyano ente se menyana ayade a yebehwe na yeno no edin komo edi afa ho. Na me producer ne de chapter 15 of the Police Service Act. Where Police Service Act na na. I then okay. Yanko amane so 0302243540. 0302243540. Na onso yanje badwenchire concerning issues here ye discuss ewa ha na yenye badwenchire quick ewa ho hasana ya sorry eye dwumadi so upon analysis ayaye saying ena ho analysis no ene semu ya babeto dwen Ghana Police Service eno am ekoso ewo ho beba cho me wajo
Major so Magere.
Yes, I hear you.
Jafani Mekasafi Tamahor Refinery.
Okay.
Mame for Akonya so nchia youth commander Mr. Kampa baby or be amechia no ashama papa. Magere Mr. me bisa so on say IGP Dampare. Ye ni so on the police phone nyina penyi. Ena hule monko no. Ono weye hwan wo man we bi. So bi bisa say Magere ha make makasa Magere media. Hule monko se de no ono weye hwan wo man.
Owula Mongote we crucify ne de no adenize.
Oh, sorry. One say, Egina na catcher man into me and born the person. Into why a wine or mine will be patcho. Say, you might know the Mr. coming to me who I know so I'm a Jerry, a dog one.
Maybe also or your anti-terrorism expert.
Okay. One would be okay, can you win in an? Say, brave woman, Nankama Jerry, all sign a dear but you. Am I ya from the Atia, see a pa? One year or man will a bit macassi, a daffy and I egu abonte. If you send some way, a man you can say a movie grapple ethic, every police informer, can say, Abenya, when you say, yeah, Fred, I actually I dream. Almost a both of NDC MPP. Parties name you, someone here so I am campaign. No more here say, be a my bar by Muntino, may share police service for night. Emo mabo me marry ni aba eye kind of this nkuku na mobeji aye poto ama amanfo hu se mo luso mba no poto ebi se di omo kan nyina no e feba one party na aye se obi so anomatic ka che bi so aye de ebo mu frema de ka che afofo se mo anda mo so ade ebanye so wo by media mo ngo lawyers for no se o kan hula mo ko ne letter na wo start e kan no waka alleged bɛyɛ mpremienu ansa na letter no wusi so akenkan ne nyinaa na Jerry nya ayi lawyer for na ka kyerɛ sɛ asɛm a yɛsɛ alleged no yɛmfa nyina so ɛnyɛ de ɛmfa nkɔkɔ na ɛdɛn na nipa no ɛka ne nsɛm ɔde alleged ba mu a wei deɛ ɔmo hwɛ sɛ ɛbɛkɔkɔ de hɔnom na ɔmo tumi kyerɛ mu yie ma me a meja afa so metumi ate aseɛ yie papaafa Jerry me da ase ɛna Thursday no a wo so bɛ invite no mesrɛ na yɛhu nipa a invite ɔmo ne program a ɛwɔ hɔ na agya yɛntumi yɛ dɛ ɛnsapɔto yɛ nuanom serious scholars a ɔmo bɛba o program no so Jerry me de nyame gya
okay me da ase na wo so wo de audio ba ma me kɔda me nto a me next caller so bɛba so majo
Magere.
yes sir yes you
Na on pam ti say.
nyame adomoko
Da lasi. Mamenkia ye general secretary. Lawyer Justin Kodia. Abranti onu na amanwu se wo bo adwuma pa ma party no. Ene ye majority leader. Afanyo mate babi owo bia chia no. Nyankopon sra no bebre. Magere. Omoma ya sunwie o. NDC for na ye omo dede se o man na ye din. Say ye to da kunu 7 cities. Enti ye ma omo mbra na da kunu beba 2 cities. They see a Ghana for nyina di 2 million ama omo. Uhia parliament kura omo wo almost 187 mebwa. They see a parliament kura on timen ka say dom kuma no si de bi o na go dane minchu ye di 2 million nyina atemunsa. Nipa wa o gine kwan obekọ heaven so a na amanfo so hafunu no sa de ade
anti de akoso na amanfo hafunu no
omo hafunu no pa nti e be from omo mafunu no nda hodi odin kwan obefa so akọ na heaven nti munya abutre
bedaze
mi wa kamu
ebato bedaze papa ozi funu no mu no odwen kwa obekọ heaven mo so mo ha no bebato ma che hey majo
Mike,
yes I do
Collins ni na ya mamuni na congratulations mo media for no because there was sabotage for me na be secretary me kura notebook media status the work Ghana for then na Greater Accra ha me na me secretary na me mark register nti Mike wo de wo son ni tefem wo son onka obi a won writer o to abade na so nukuredie mu de wo de wo son because ye ka nukure se o manimo ye den en fa wo so ye en
ba na de baby a mede na me o se na nka me mai mafiri mu
mini
abade se ato awie nde
o mini
ya
na FPP college ni communicated me ka se ubie eyi a ubeti LDC for nko anka o omo da so ba
maza bye mam next issues I discuss one you do one with you okay mam next call na you do but majo
champion McJerry
yes sir
anyume nyame asum bi
enka so
na me mo abaso ne adwuma so a wodi ma aye despite media me diri say afi upe no akosoro pa
sa
because ana you na we agbo anopa awia ani anadwe de that upe di enko so asan ka adwuma waja yo McJerry
amen
so makaka so me so bronya me sa de na be bi so me so why abera be bi so me so McJerry ma menchi yewura eye jesekodu afempon lawyer abdant na adwuma oboma NPP party ene oman Ghana no me esomani ene yewura afonyo marketing majority leader so abono mo de papa parliament o maje se na metie enkomo wodi na adwuma we e wo studio a me am le person me go school cry no metie letter ni abata bontin na e feel say IGP e person yewura tete yonwunu no otu so okwa o bebe ye IGP enti opekwan bi agubafere ni man sebe ya banti menya kwan emeye IGP e wo Ghana ha because se bibia koso as IGP wotimi atona mo asiya no kwan ya ade na mo omana so enti na obia only process you and what mean for she about extra Africa about one thing dia na you say that publication here calls for gas for the delegate the most the first monum you are IGP any movie yes no IGP papa papa ye enye adwuma ni be adwuma bi o ye ni be bi ani dwuma ebi su ani nje ho oba e what na amafo promotion so a o mo san ka mo promotion o ye illegal transfer enye IGP una ye transfer na the course of police service ma the true say we take side na other IGP so we take side so Magdali enye yie yes no o ma tete wonu enye na dwuma meti ye we tete wonu di o a be deputy IGP enye no meti ne papa enka che egbo papa ya bo ni rules bi o atanom yewura kubu atima you wa ye police service room papa di mu and di wote yes no na say papa be IGP a mon ka ensemi papa no ngu papa ni mas o me ko enam ne kwan so yes no
okay medan sia na so wodi ade aba me ba cho ba me ko obofro so me mo ajo
Magere
yes so azen
now say
na me ado ma yetio
Magere
yes
o bisa me dey
and where wine pony
Rose pin of the area
Rose Rose azen
Adomo Mike
good
Mike mpacho udi utika bebu obi a owo ire ba ku mienu miensa mpacho fama message ni mende wate
another unukunu
mpacho dedi abema onu wo ire be mienu miensa ya wo se fabita na saso fama me bu na mende wa Mike
yo mate why mate me cheche bisika ni nyina ama wansa bro nya me kono wie so
mate nya me sure mi na be man komo amode ene anajo fa mi so me pese me di kakra me my Jerry nya me se nka no pre for the one ye IGP dampare bae journalist dodo na wo Ghana ha bona baso wo ye duma wo se me fresh station me ka cho se o mu susu ye papa no yodu o mu susu eye no yodu last me say interview I post woni agoso e wo station me hu twiri me ankasa because my Jerry be nsi wo Ghana ha say police wonya problem wo geta akra ha be accident bi esi police penyi bi kasa no ma sis da pariba ye no sade enkosu police ni nya akoma no atum so bibisi wa chama hana ile police penyi kasa onto men kasa esi me juma men tia da ma ese police wo ya ka omo nyina ahye obi aso obi anto me enkasa eya na MPP college ba omo say NDC yensa maintain IGP we me nya pis nya me say nka no premi rosa nka me nkwa me one mad demonstration against this me mpini so da she tete wonu ya de bia sa papa no on kai me bete ma Jerry papa no ya de bia ma respect no papa emre bi na kai so mo fa IGP wo NDC mu na ne di ye but ko be je di say onu bo frɛ say yem bo apenyi bi na enfa no IGP ka penyi na enfa no IGP ni passe no onye greedy ni passe onye greedy anka yo bia obobo ne di na ka obeti ne say enfa ma no but o se sa nipa no o enim ti no nto mo ba ma no ampa so san nipa na NDC o mo di IGP man wo NDC time enti nipa say how come say obese ne di mutu me nse ne di da ye binum ye ni papa no o ye nipa bia o boa o man Ghana ono onye se o boa party o boa ni man Ghana enti ni bo de anka ni pechi time so ya metre NDC o mo fa IGP man no nyame nka mo ho
medan se no so wodi an wodi aba meba cho me mo ache ede na ache ache kra me mo ajo mabom wonu show na edura no mre say na I say eze se mitio
Majari IGP asemu mimi tumu say IGP angasa no oya smart opeza o lobby na ebia o mo san fan wo nti na ebia wa sheda na ebia o peza mo gu wele mo gu tete ko hiru na bia na akoba say ebia na ho enya kondo maganga dia na o say ba ya Uria police service ya sibia IGP ya say police service say bibi bakra bona u peza o from bikra no ya gizo mo di statement ba IGP ju no no o ba no wa ye ne basa wa ne basa ye say o peza o sa lobby na ye se obi na ye na za ni pa no chota ateke ne de ba no sa papa na gaza no no e dia o police ejuma mu
onye police ni o
onye police ni se ano gu papa no fi say asem no say no kwese nya no kwa udi abetuga toka basasa na ekeze akwese se bia se ebia government abayi obe pointing for IGP and say ugu no fi na say na no nyeme yanya de sa mo mu nya de sa tete wo ye ni mi na juma waye ani die waye nti omo be ye omo ya ade ni na ti bia e dia so bi be
Meda say wo so wo de wadwe nkyere wo de aba beba so me mo adwe wa ha
ma yenya senior PK ni
yes I tell
senior pastor for me
ya me adomo
senior we pastor me ko brief into IGP issues na eba or police service ni mu no senior enokra na eba current IGP the yemu no and the truth of the matter senior I want say nyina yo media ye things say dey pray enokra ni say JM will never appoint a or neither current dam pally. Omunina, they are going because dam pally issues in the police service in the door. And now we need to say internal politics or more service in the door. And now we need a service with integrity. Service with integrity, no. If they come into the front line of the police service now, they're still going to be in the politicking because the police service in the CIA Casano, we have the Dam Paris fashion, the Tetenyo fashion, and the aggrieved officers. I almost say for Munina or any of them silent majority for much of 4 Munina 18 or you say, yeah, shed the echo. And it's the biggest mistake JM Bayani said about appointing any of these people as his IGP.
Okay.
And the source, as some of us know, none of them will become the IGP. After all, Obiso use football age. Because
you can't go there. We need that fact. But so BC and Nipane and be proven chere into a reference point.
Allegedly.
And I may say your football age, you say I'm not aware. I can't use these allegations.
So and it's the best the JM say as the cashier done so to reform the service with the integrity. So and because you say former DCOP Kofi Boache Eben Intino on also the camp to reform the police.
And I saw Obiabe on the camp until the last the decision to JM. Why? Obeyam and Penny, you didn't see others we are.
And here the Sadia Bedane so, and it was one transit, not on your major consultation, so that the service with the name service with integrity, as I by standing to my pay for but our right outside the so-called security experts, they are rather spoiling the service.
Okay. So, but that's same. My main fa the honor so Eddie Hona Yanji honor son adventure. Beba to me wajo.
Champion Magde.
Yes sir, is there?
Nyango ko adumo media de champion Fuseni Adams me flefli ashama. Manya opportunity there. Baby a ona bu Joshua Hamidu Akamba obi amentiano. Na mentia ju ashama. Ofa. They say kakra me pese me kan nyina ne say. Saadi ebubo abaya sabi IGP ayem hehan ama sabi yato aba yesi wo fiati abufunu ni ho yato aba wie watimi wakame waye sei yesi obi awene yesi wonwene yesi obi awene yesi wonwene yesi IGP pa yesi na every sedimu nemum se de ebubo ba no de meka nyina ne se futuro na se Ghana fo MPP fo tuogu Ghana fo ni ama se no tumi na be kura ndi sinsemu no mo san me tu futuro fufuro bi anwu yani o they say pomu John Dramani Mahama ye wona esa ba ye president eti san futuro no mo tuogu yani ni abreo na mo de mo twan na 7 fu ye de omampani Mahama sisu wi a na mo niam na mo ye no mo de mo ton koso nye
okay
so pele aniam mo ye bi anye de bibia mo ye bi okroma bi anye adai
meda say ma memfa de odi hona mfa be 2 calls ni mfancy majo.
Good evening, Brother Mike.
Yes, sir.
Polomani Dudua.
Okay.
Because the only say first now I had the pound now a penance, but he say now police in some near Koso police do so do what I say. And you know the Patuman Bisa Sambaku, Kushibuache, almost me still almost me as IGP.
And say, and Lawrence, I don't want to for retired police officer. I don't have idea of that.
Oh, and the LDC for the before the Ghana for Penas and Power Coffee watching number one. And the strategy says if it's a home family now, nobody say policeman my one. Say, dear, policeman, they said, I'm cool.
About your medicine also would they. Okay. Mamma the Odiho, Memorio.
Your room, again.
Yes, I do.
Michelle, here for offer you doing. The million cassette is after or canona, make a cratos. Ura dampare, canena a fano, na in a neo, I regime, the wood moona, in Jumagina wood in Yamen, Ukrainian, Sweden. But Nazadi and Yamen, Ukrainian, many you on ma, Zodi, any and Ganebois. Many be on a titu about 2 years, 2 years, you may be on ma. Course is here to trust them near my air course will Crumia, get to me, the Nancy form Nanga, Woma, it is
Now, send no Chichibio, and I know my update. As any over 100 crown or much or my, if you cry, I remind me.
Mas, you say, say, Chama, returning officer, a brand of 4 to question so. Now, more open a yellow one, or fair damper Yanga Sangasa, and then a Casa, and more demand the Wama. Nanga Ganumbo Sibia, why is the Gaun doing Jungo form home Gongo Japan? It didn't never be old man as Eddie or Johnny, or very Sanajina or Sanajina, and the Econia.
Okay, let us say. I read for Medamuninas, you'll be out, and I'm a last one when you're come. Mebacho Mario.
Yeah, Japanese.
Yes, you.
Yo, your family let's go to Fabidance on Look My West. Yo, Dampare, so far so good. Or IGP, what one more day? Because any my papa or the two of them, Emma Ghana police, and no crack on NDC for the Inkunimino. Ain't it Dampare, dear? Why are dear? You must soon, dear, why be? Or say, I pass war. Because Obia dear, or say, me and one of the boss said Dampare, why say, Ghana police was yes, you hope. Udua, and Nick can, I want a year, and Dampare, dear. Mummy Monabaso, Uniam Yajma, Medase.
Once you made us say, and what they are, what they are, by high 800 points, and I had a bit of friend in our BDC. 82 lawyers, I'm one more, a year, lawyer Kadri Abdul Rauf, and the lawyer Omar Farouk Abubakar. 1 year, a lawyer for Mujinum, and the police for Dua, 1 more day, a year IGP, Dr. George Ekufo Dampere court, because transfers because SWA. 1 who said transfers, no, if free or a year IGP are catching, Mrenimono sono, IGP are catching, no, and to say or no. And I say, Bibi free na suya ba say it is more transfer police officers. Be to Amako court. One more airco. Aqua jincho. Menti. La. Say, Musha process na say a basa mongote. Owula mongote entimi anye hwehwe. Na ebi obekas wo evidence mo fa no court. Damage is ben na whatever ko.
Oh no, if I get the question right, restate the question again in English.
Yes, supposing that he decided, he's having the evidence, so he can also meet you guys in court.
No, that's fine. You know that the courtroom is open to anybody at all.
Yeah.
So it's not just a court of law; it's a court of evidence. And if he thinks that he has watertight evidence in order to be able to establish his case with, he's at liberty to come and he would have, like Lawyer Farouk earlier indicated, he will have his full day in court. He should come and establish his evidence. But as I have repeatedly indicated, we are very persuaded that Ola Iti Mangote, there's no shred, there's no scintilla of truth in what he has written. That publication is actually effectuated by deep malice and then mischief. And for that matter, we would meet him in court. And I have also indicated already that he should be advised that soon he shall meet us in court so that an opportunity will be there for us to juggle the matters. If he has a matter against our clients, he should establish it. If not, we shall establish our case against him.
Okay, thank you. All right, Lawyer Farouk, maybe I'll be able to back on here, sorry.
Wait, Mark, the American said the very reason why Abaha essentially is to react to obnoxious publication made by one Ola Mangote. But we are not here for purposes of maddening or, if you like, tarnishing the image of the IGP. I'm saying so because of the reaction we are getting from the phone calls.
Yeah.
And so it is important that we set the record straight. The fundamental motive why we are here essentially is to react to the obnoxious publication, and then also to indicate to the author of the publication say we would anticipate him to perhaps withdraw those allegations. And if he doesn't do so, we have instructions from our client to proceed to court for purposes of giving him an opportunity to appear before a court of law, not the court of public opinion, to provide watertight evidence as indicated by my colleague. And so that is the fundamental reason why we are here. We are not here to pan or to mad or to tarnish the image of the IGP whatsoever. That's not the reason why we are here.
Okay.
But I would like to call on the office of the IGP to perhaps cause some reaction to the publication. I think if the office of the IGP
that would be appropriate.
To settle most of the matters, and perhaps that might even restore the image of our clients and settle the matters. So thank you very much.
Also with us. Abusu na lawyer from ba me chen and be a special guest on the show. One more and menu one more. Every one lawyer for the police for do one more the IGP court. And we will among go te the publication away. Or say deputy IGP and the police for do no. One more na kanomo ba be rege elections. And one more said there be we go among fin. Yes, one more court. Eye Katamanso Abemunso Information Center mo Katamanso ye chia mo pa ye damase so mutie sanso na me chia eye di Aisha Bakery na adwuma efo mo MFS State onso ye mam special good evening Medin de Jerry OSEI AGYEMAN IK Champon and Francis Okokroko and ebo me chiro madi dwumadi ye de ebrew e neat 100.9 enya me pa ya wada ye the last edition e bebrew ya wada no serial callers ne beba nti MPP ne NDC for Musiria callers no medical mo pen for akasa eti MPP serial caller mu bisa kebi dan wan de beba na Joe Ashaman ono so NDC serial callers me na akasa eti ono so ebe kire wo mo a wo beba nyame ya adoma ya wada na me serial callers ne me no ma wie ba be din komo pa ye na ye ho ma eko opposition eno ma ba ba mo ye ho se dia no be ko nyame pa ye be sen hia ochina Ghana Muntie so the Super Duper Morning Show. Ochina menu be shia o Ghana Muntie so. Yes, sorry ako na na ye benadei DJ Bosco obeba na wababa be take you over no abobo onyom ekopem se obeda sorry na bibia etimi akoso kama. Nyame ko bibia on edini bi me Jerry OSEI